Hello class 8 student. Today I am going to conclude the chapter minerals and power resources. In the last class we discussed about the mineral resources and the alternative resources that we can use, which we regard as non-renewable resources and renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are the conventional resources that we have been using, like fossil fuels like petroleum, gas, coal. But the renewable resources include hydropower, solar power, tidal power, geothermal power, etc. etc. Today we are going to discuss with the connection of mineral conservation. So nowadays the resources, non-renewable resources like coal, petroleum, these are the resources which are going to be depleted in near future, and we are not going to get we are not be able to get to use it in future, or perhaps our descendants, our children will not be able to use that resources. And also there is a great concern about the climatic condition of the world regarding global warming, pollution. So we need to be switching into renewable source of energy or alternative sources of energy. So in this regard, the non-renewable sources of energy from time being has proved to be polluting the environment of our world, and in this regard we are adopting the renewable source of energy which are cleaner, to which base that people are in certain countries, in some countries, they are trying to develop certain vehicles, develop certain machineries which can be used by this renewable sources of energy, basically from solar power, and then this solar energy can be stored into batteries or whatever it is. But for the time being it is quite expensive that we are using, and we hope so we will be able to use this substances for in near future. Now till we are able to obtain certain kind of renewable source of energy which will be cheaper for us, but now we are more concerned of conserving these kinds of resources. To some extent we need to conserve the resources, that it will not be depleted in near future, because the rapid use of this non-renewable source of energy and mineral resources that we are using is going to be depleted in near future that we are using. So we need to conserve. Now what is the meaning of conservation? Conservation does not mean that we stop using the resources. It means that we need to use the resources in such a way that whatever we need we will use, and the excessive use will be controlled by us. This is conservation, and this means we can say that if we stop the excessive use of the resources, and these resources will last to a little extent. Suppose if you are using petroleum and it is leading to pollution, it is because of excessive use of petroleum it is leading to leading to pollution, and in this regard we are unable to clean the environment, because as the environment is capable to clean the pollution, to clean the atmosphere more speedily, we are making the environment dirty. So the balance has to be maintained. If the balance is maintained, we don't find any difficulty now, but here we are finding difficulty. It is because of the imbalance that we are experiencing now. Now let's discuss about the mineral conservation, how we need to conserve and why are certain things. So mineral resources help to attain economic growth. Economic growth means it developed the country. It is because of the presence of the mineral. The strength, the richness of the country depends on the mineral content of the country, what amount of mineral is there in the country. The demand for mineral resources has been growing at a rapid rate. Yes, it is because of the overgrowth of population. We are using more and more resources, more and more mineral resources. It is since the industrial revolution of the 18th and 19th century, but minerals are non-renewable resources. Non-renewable means that we have already discussed in a previous videos, that those resources which cannot be renewed by, which we cannot get back. While the demand is increasing, the supply is decreasing. Excessive exploitation might lead to total depletion. Total depletion, I have already mentioned, it is going to be end in near future, slowly and slowly. Therefore, humans are constantly exploring new sources. The environment is also greatly impacted by mining activities. You must be wondering about what you can do to help. As individuals, we could reduce our needs, reuse products and byproducts, and recycle the waste that are coming from our houses. Understood? What are certain things that we could do? That is reducing our needs. Whatever we require, we will use it, not more than that. Reuse the products. Whenever the product is still reusable, we can reuse the product, and byproducts, and recycle waste. This may require making certain changes to our lifestyle. We have to maintain certain changes to our lifestyle. Looking for alternative sources that are renewable for our needs would be a good beginning. However, misuse of renewable resources could also lead to depletion and ruin. So what are the things that we use? First of all, we need to find the alternative sources. Till the alternative sources that we are not obtaining, till then we have to use the concept of 3 R's: reuse, reduce, and recycle. These 3 things, and these 3 things will lead to the conservation of our mineral resources, and we will be able to sustain in our near future, and we can develop. This development is also termed as sustainable development. Now if we term about the whole world use of the energy resource that we have learned about how much energy is consumed by countries across the world. Some of the countries which are very developed, unlike India is a developing country or underdeveloped country. These developed countries are using more energy for more development, for more production. So whenever the breakthrough of energy consumption is seen for the world, that the most of the use can be seen through industries and transportation. To some extent, agriculture plays a very important role in using the energies. Commercial and public services also uses, and to it consent that the residential, that the homes, in the homes that we are using energy in the form of electricity, LPG, and whatever it is that we are using. So we can see that industry consumes a maximum power, followed by residential and transportation sectors. Remember, industrial purpose uses more resources. Why do you think that residential sector consumes so much of energy? Residential, why they use? Residential are also using residential at the homes, domestic uses. So we need to think of the ways of the same need could be met using alternative sources. So again, whenever we are thinking about using our alternative sources for conserving our resources, we need to think of using in our domestic and residential or industrial purpose. Okay, so whenever we are using, so we need to study comparatively that how to simply show the same type of data for different areas, and this is a in a visual comparison that makes the analysis of the use of resources. Okay, and it need to be interesting that the people, that the student, you like student, will understand properly by presenting these kinds of things like through bar graph or bar chart. So so bar graph and bar chart you will understand properly in your maths that you are studying, and your maths teacher will be able to define about the bar graph and bar chart. So whatever it is a graphical representation. So whatever we studied in mineral resources and power resources, we studied that there are 7 things that we studied. The first thing, that mineral is an inorganic substance with a definite chemical composition. The second point, that minerals can be metallic or non-metallic. Metallic minerals can be ferrous or non-ferrous. Ferrous means that attract to magnet, and non-ferrous that cannot be attracted. Ferrous substance like iron, nickel, chromium are ferrous, and non-ferrous like copper, zinc, gold, silver. The third point, minerals are important for economic growth. Therefore, it is necessary to conserve minerals for continuous development. The fourth point, mining also impact the environment by causing land degradation and water pollution and displacement of people. Mining means that is extraction of mineral from the ground. The fifth point, power resources can be classified into renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable, that can be renewed, that we can get. The alternative sources that we are obtaining on the earth's surface are renewable, and that cannot be obtained, like that cannot be renewed, like coal, petroleum are non-renewable sources of energy. The sixth point, renewable power resources include solar, wind, hydel, geothermal and tidal resources. And the seventh point, that we have the point that non-renewable power resources include fossil fuels such as petroleum and coal, that I have already discussed. So minerals that we obtain in the form of rocks. And rocks, what is rock? Rock is an aggregate of minerals. And also, what is mineral now? Mineral is a naturally occurring inorganic substance made of a single solid substance of uniform composition. And now, and again, another concept, that is ore. Ore is a rock from which one or more minerals are extracted. Like from iron ore, we are getting from iron ore or ferrous ore. Aluminium we get from bauxite. So muscovite, we extract mica from muscovite. So in this way, another term is alloy that we can term. Alloy means mixture of two or more elements, two or more metal that we use. Like one of the alloy that we call as duralumin, which contains aluminium and little amount copper and magnesium to strengthen the strength of copper. And this duralumin is used to make utensils, pressure cookers made of aluminium, that is duralumin, and aeroplanes, the bodies of aeroplanes. So this is the video that I want to discuss and concluding the chapter regarding the mineral and mineral resources. So in the next part, I will try to provide you with the answers, long answers, and I hope so I have given you the shorter answers, that is distinguished between and name of the given names that I have already given in answer number 2. So do watch this video, and it is very difficult to make a video in this condition, that to make a video it requires too much of effort by the teachers like us. So I hope so you will understand the gravity of the situation of lockdown, and you will follow our instruction, the instruction of each and every teachers for your better education, for better studies. And you can see that I have grown out with my beard, my mustache, and I have shortened my hairs. It has become ulta for me. Why it is? Because it is a condition of lockdown, to cool my head, brain, whenever making videos and whenever waiting for your questions in the by holding the phone every time. It has become very difficult. There is no time. Right from 9 AM to 4 PM it is difficult, and sometimes over the night the questions are also coming. But still I do agree with the gravity that you don't have you are not available with the phone, as your parents are outside your home. Still I am making my time flexible, that whenever you ask the question, if I am available with the phone at that time, or over the night if I am waking up, then I will be able to give you the answers. But still I will try to reply you instantly wherever it is possible. So think about it, that our condition of the teachers. So each and every teachers, your math teachers, your science teachers are trying to put effort to teach you during the lockdown period. And whenever it is, you see, whenever the lockdown period is over, when it will be over we don't know. When it will be over, the time has gone so far that we will not be able to repeat the chapters in the school, because already the time has gone, and there will be a time we need to finish the courses. So better, whatever we are, with our own resources, with your own resources, try to correlate with us, try to cooperate with us, that we will be able to give you a good teaching to you. So whenever you find difficulty, do ask questions in a WhatsApp group. So for the time being, I thank you, and remember about my condition. Okay, thank you.